Hey there, friends. I wanted to bring a really quick story to you guys that most of you have already heard about, but I wanted to give you a small bit of detail and a little bit more research that I've done. This is on the United States Post Office, more specifically the United States Postal Inspection Service. This is an arm of the post office that's essentially supposed to manage and monitor and police, if you will, things like mail fraud, scams online, anything that's using the actual postal service and mail system. Now, what they're doing is they're linking the online electronic type of things that happen, like email and social media and things like that, by saying that if it was a scam that included actual mail of the postal service, that somehow or another they think they have some form of jurisdiction. What I mean by that is, I looked into what their actual role is, what the true role of this organization is, if you can call it a true role, if you can actually explain to yourself somehow that these people need to exist. And they actually create the need for their own existence of tapping into electronic stuff by stating that if you received an email of some sort and it says that you are supposed to receive a package from the Postal Service, and then it goes on to explain the steps. My point is, they are tying their ability and the justification, if you will, for them to dabble in the electronic side of our business by saying that if there was a threat or any suggestion that your stuff is supposed to come in the Postal Service, that gives them automatic jurisdiction. In other words, they seem to be justifying their own actions of overreach and going into an area that they literally have no jurisdiction over. And again, let me repeat this. Make no mistake, I don't feel like they need to exist at all. But this is just another way that these people are trying to overreach. This is tied back to Lobby Day back in Virginia, where many thousands of armed protesters showed up. Now, this is not a new thing. This happens all the time. This is an organization that is known for having these types of, quote, protests. It's really a gathering. They're not exactly protesting, but they show up. They're armed because they are an armed organization. There has never been a problem. They always coordinate with law enforcement. So there's no track record or no history that there could be a problem here. It's just that the problem exists a little ways down the road in Washington, D.C., more notably in the White House. The White House is weaponizing every single branch of every single government organization out there. Now the post office, the freaking post office. This is another example of what this administration is doing. Make no mistake, I have a problem with every single administration that has sat behind the desk in the Oval Office forever. They've all made bad decisions. They've all done things that are overreach that the federal government has no business in. And none of them have fully supported the Second Amendment. But this administration has done all it can to militarize and weaponize every single branch that it has any kind of federal funding for. And now it's the post office. And while exploring their website, I also found it remarkably ironic that they mentioned dementia and other age-related brain impairments play a significant role in financial exploitation, while we have a dementia-ridden patient in the White House exploiting our financial situation.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Survival!